Welcome back to The Explainer. Today, we're unpacking a story that is literally a masterclass in tension. We're talking high stakes, legal maneuvering, and some seriously profound emotional drama. We are looking directly at the events of Prophet Yusuf, focusing specifically on the trial of the royal cup. So let's jump right into how this psychological thriller actually unfolds. Okay, let's dive into this, because there's a really fascinating psychological paradox at the heart of today's narrative. Think about it for a second. What happens when your absolute confidence, your desperate attempt to prove your own innocence, becomes the exact mechanism that seals your fate? You're about to see a perfectly laid trap where the targets actually volunteer to lock the cage themselves. Section 1. The Unexpected Accusation. Picture the scene. The brothers are traveling, they think they're completely safe, and out of nowhere, royal soldiers suddenly surround their caravan, and they accuse them of theft. Judah immediately mounts this incredibly vehement defense. He says, "We swear by Allah we did not come to steal. You know who we are, why would we need to steal?" I mean, you can practically hear the absolute certainty in his voice. This is that raw, unfiltered outrage of people who are 100% sure that they're innocent. Section 2. Establishing the penalty. So, because they're so incredibly confident, the brothers consult among themselves and proudly declare their own law of retribution. They state that the specific person in whose bag the stolen item is found, well, that person shall be taken as a slave. Now, what's fascinating here is that historically, standard regional laws often just required paying double the value of the stolen goods. But by jumping straight to enslavement, they're dictating this unusually severe penalty just to prove their innocence. And here is the brutal, dramatic irony. They are unknowingly building the exact trap that's about to ensnare their youngest brother. Section 3. The climax of the search. With the penalty established, the grueling search begins. In the first minute, soldiers systematically start searching the older brother's bags. By the 10th minute, those bags are completely cleared. Nothing is found. So imagine the immense rush of relief and, frankly, false confidence that's building up among them. But then, we hit the 15th minute. Only Benjamin's bag remains, the youngest, the one they promised their father they'd protect. The older brothers are likely feeling fully secure by now, probably just assuming this last bag is a mere formality. And then, the silence is completely shattered. Found it! The soldier pulls the royal cup directly out of Benjamin's bag. The text describes this moment as the ground literally disappearing from beneath the brothers' feet. It's just total paralysis. Everything they just confidently swore to, that severe penalty they so proudly established, it all crashes down on them in a single, devastating second. Section 4. An old prejudice revealed. Now, what's really interesting about this slide is how people react when they're pushed into a state of paralyzing shock. Defensive instincts just take over completely. To distance themselves, the brothers immediately throw Benjamin and his lost brother under the bus. They blurt out, if he stole, it's not surprising. His brother Yusuf stole before him. It's a frantic, baseless accusation born out of pure panic. But in profound contrast, Yusuf himself is standing right there. Hearing his own brothers slander his name, he maintains this incredible patience and self-control. He simply says within his own heart, you are in a worse position. Allah knows best the truth. It is an absolute masterclass in dignified restraint. Section 5. The minister's firm verdict. So the brothers finally realize the absolute catastrophe they've just caused. Judah steps forward, and his demeanor shifts entirely from this proud defender to a desperate beggar. He pleads, "O minister, he has a very old father. Take one of us in his place. We see you are a doer of good." He is literally begging to trade his own freedom. Why? Because he's desperate to honor that crushing, solemn vow they made to their father, Prophet Yaqub, to bring the youngest son back safely no matter what. But Yusuf, acting as the minister, holds up a mirror to their own established rules. He replies with unshakable justice. Allah forbid we take anyone but the guilty. That would make us oppressors. The minister strictly adheres to the law they set, firmly closing the trap the brothers created for themselves. There is no negotiation here. There's no trade. They are completely cornered. Section 6. Judah's difficult choice. So the crucial point is that the tone shifts heavily right here. The frantic panic is gone, and it's replaced by an impossible dilemma. If they leave, they have to return empty-handed to an already grieving father. They'll have to face the overwhelming guilt of breaking an unbreakable vow made to Prophet Yaqub. And they literally have to abandon their youngest brother, Benjamin, in Egypt as a slave. It's simply too much. And so Judah makes his final decision. He steps into the shadows and completely separates from the group, refusing to return home until his father gives him permission or until Allah decides his fate. The brothers are now fractured. The youngest is enslaved, the eldest refuses to leave Egypt. And the rest? Well, they are forced to make the long journey home to deliver the most devastating news imaginable. How will they possibly face Prophet Yaqub with his news? It's an impossible situation, leaving us suspended right on the edge of this incredible narrative. Thanks for joining me in this explainer, and I highly recommend reflecting on the incredible tension we've unpacked today. Until we begin,